Ik zei Tetjubali!
Combined to put on quite the show across the pond this afternoon.
Yeah, total solar eclipse dazzled stargazers. The first time this rare celestial event could be seen in Europe since 1999.
ABC's Maggie Ruley reports from Iceland, where daylight turned to darkness today.
The moon passing perfectly between the sun and the earth, casting its shadow across a narrow path on the planet. NASA capturing these images. The path of totality going from northern Russia, then passing over a mostly uninhabited area of Greenland, before crossing over the western edge of Iceland. Iceland's iconic Blue Lagoon, named one of Nat Geo's wonders of the world, directly in the path of the eclipse. Pitch black of night in the middle of the day, to see it go like that in seconds, sort of makes you question everything in a way. It feels like you're part of something bigger than yourself, especially experiencing this with so many people.
It's definitely a historic moment because this is the first time since 1433 that the moon's umbral shadow touches upon this area.
That was the first time I was ever seen an eclipse in full totality like that, and it was I don't know, epic. That's the only word I could think of. It was amazing.
You feel like getting colder, the wind's slowing.
Yeah, quieter.
Tens of thousands of people have traveled here to Iceland.
For someone that's never experienced totality before, how would you describe that moment?
Priceless. The path of totality, then making its way to Spain and Portugal just before sunset. The next time the Earth will see a total solar eclipse will be in just under a year, August 2nd, 2027. It will be visible primarily across North Africa. Maggie Ruley, ABC News, Blue Lagoon, Iceland.
Oh my God! What's happening?
The Earth is ending. You can see it.
Wow!
What if you could pay for your shopping with just a wave of your hand? This RFID chip works just like a contactless card. It's implanted into your hand, and once it's there, you can pay for groceries, open doors, and even unlock your car.
I implanted an RFID chip into my hand. User discretion advised, but here are the details. I purchased the RFID implant from DangerousThings.com. This is a dual chip RFID NFT implant kit. It comes pre-sterilized with all of the implant tools and instructions that you need to do it yourself at home. All it took was a little bit of convincing and a couple of beers, and my buddy was ready to perform surgery. At the end of the day, surgery was a success. Call me crazy, but the possibilities are endless, and I can't wait to see what future projects I work on with this thing.
Yeah.
Big deep breath in. And breathe out. Okay.
Just had an RFID chip implanted.
As one does.
As one does. If you can feel it right here, there's a little chip in there, but
cool.
It's made by a company called Dangerous Things, which is got a great marketing, right?
Yeah.
But this is the more advanced one, so I put it in so I can open my Tesla with it and wave in front of the elevator.
Check out with Apple Pay.
Exactly. I want my, actually, I will not put my crypto keys on this because then my hand is at risk.
Yes. And then how long will the batteries last?
It's not battery. It's near field. So basically, an electric current comes in.
Okay, right. Yeah.
So anyway, that was fun. It was an hour ago.
Next night, the backlash against AI data centers is growing, with protests from coast to coast in dozens of states today. The issue uniting many Americans across the political divide. Here's ABC's Alex Prochet.
Tonight, a growing debate over data centers as a number of demonstrations play out across the country, from Atlanta to Berkeley, California.
We want to slow down AI data center development. We want to slow down AI in general and stop big tech from infringing on our local communities.
The explosion of data center construction projects, the byproduct of the AI and cloud computing boom. That skyrocketing growth also prompting new scrutiny as communities housing these centers say they are bearing new burdens of heightened water and power usage. This week, New York became the first state to halt construction of new large data centers, the governor imposing a one-year moratorium. In Granbury, Texas, just outside of Fort Worth, residents have filed petitions to recall their mayor and several city council members after the city annexed property for a new data center site.
Somehow you have to communicate to the local politicians, we're really upset and your job is at risk.
The debate now making its way to Washington. President Trump blasted the move by New York's governor, Trump touting one of the biggest driving forces in the future for jobs are data centers. Both the taxes and jobs amount to liquid gold. But even members of his own party acknowledge regulations may be needed.
While there are real issues to discuss and there are regulations to put in place, New York's decision to do an outright ban is only going to negatively impact its economy.
Well, and ahead of this fall's midterm election, a number of Democrat and Republican candidates are framing their campaigns around data centers. In a recent Reuters Ipsos poll, only 14% of Americans support a data center being built within their community. Whit?
All right, Alex Prochet for us tonight.
Well, to the previous question, the thing that drives me the most is this is the most interesting, important thing I can imagine doing, and we are now in the singularity. This is the moment. For 10 years ago, this was a kind of far off dream at best. It seemed very improbable. And now we're actually in the moment that we used to talk about at the lunch table in a very not serious way. And so the thing that drives me is I've been waiting for this my whole life. And I think it's going to be incredible, hugely positive, awesome for the world. I'm excited to get to work on that. I also think some of the alternative visions painted by other companies are quite terrifying. I'm gonna make sure that gets pushed against and is not what happens. But the main thing of what's different than 10 years ago is we're actually in it. This is the real, I think it is both true that it is all one crazy exponential and any one moment is not the tipping point. And also that we are somehow in another one of those decisive periods where the curve can go one way or another, like it was when we started 10 years ago.
So ChatGPT was really only the first wave. Coding agents were/are the second, and according to Sam, the third wave will be AI systems that remain active over long periods of time and operate more like actual colleagues, chiefs of staff, or coworkers. And he says we're going to enter that stage pretty soon, and then move through it extremely quickly. But the more capable these systems become, the stranger the experience of using them is apparently going to feel. Because eventually, instead of asking AI for help with a task, you'll be able to ask it to accomplish things that previously seemed impossible. He compares this to creating a genie capable of granting almost any wish. But he also admits that once the genie actually starts granting those wishes, we might have no idea what to ask for next. Check this out.
The way that somebody explained kind of the marketing challenge for OpenAI and the industry in general is, number one, we are close to creating what we need to explain to the world. Number one, we are close to creating a genie that can grant any wish. Number two, we are going to make sure that our first wishes broadly benefit humanity and that we kind of get the world to a place where a lot more people get to have a lot more wishes. And number three, the space of what you can wish for is incredibly big and creative, and it'll be quite exciting to like figure that out with real sort of human values and preferences. But I think there's a fourth thing too, which is exactly that. You start making these wishes, the computer grants them, and then you're like, I didn't think that was going to work.
Yeah.
What now? It's a weird
CEO
thing.
Mark Zuckerberg is making a case for putting super intelligent AI in the hands of everyone, not just a few companies or governments. Superintelligence is a hypothetical technology that surpasses our own ability to think, our own cognition. In a 14-page essay, Zuckerberg argues it will advance national security and lead to greater economic prosperity, but warns that concentrating superintelligence in the hands of a few could create an even greater imbalance of power. The notion that AI is so dangerous that the only safe path is an extreme concentration of power seems inherently problematic, Zuckerberg wrote. Business Insider tech correspondent Charles Rollet joins us now. So, Charles, superintelligence isn't even here yet. What is he arguing, and what future does he see? What's he calling for?
Everyone in the world to have a super intelligent AI agent in their pocket. And he's contrasting this to other companies. He doesn't name them, but what he clearly means is OpenAI or Anthropic, who have basically limited AI and are more careful about releasing it, and who mostly require like a paying subscription to use it. So he basically wants to free everyone to have a super intelligent AI all the time. And so it's a very ambitious, remarkable statement.
As the strikes began, President Trump posted this message on social media.
A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world. For 47 years, the Iranian regime has chanted death to America and waged an unending campaign of bloodshed and mass murder, targeting the United States, our troops, and the innocent people in many, many countries. Among the regime's very first acts was to back a violent takeover of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, holding dozens of American hostages for 444 days. In 1983, Iran's proxies carried out the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut that killed 241 American military personnel. In 2000, they knew and were probably involved with the attack on the USS Cole. Many died. Iranian forces killed and maimed hundreds of American service members in Iraq. The regime's proxies have continued to launch countless attacks against American forces stationed in the Middle East in recent years, as well as U.S. naval and commercial vessels in international shipping lanes. It's been mass terror, and we're not going to put up with it any longer. From Lebanon to Yemen, and Syria to Iraq, the regime has armed, trained, and funded terrorist militias that have soaked the earth with blood and guts. And it was Iran's proxy, Hamas, that launched the monstrous October 7th attacks on Israel, slaughtering more than 1,000 innocent people, including 46 Americans, while taking 12 of our citizens hostage. It was brutal. something like the world has never seen before.
We're learning more about conditions and morale on board the USS Abraham Lincoln, which has been at sea supporting the U.S. war with Iran for a record number of days.
ABC's Karen Hua has the details as lawmakers ask for answers.
Filthy conditions, low morale, and suicide attempts are just some reports of sailors struggling on board the USS Abraham Lincoln. But this morning, the Pentagon denies these claims.
Completely misrepresented. Listen, we make sure that every ship, every crew, every captain has everything we can provide them at every single moment.
The warship has spent more than 8 months at sea to support the war in Iran. It's gone a record 200 straight days without a port call to give service members a break on land. Families of service members have reported moldy showers, broken toilets, food shortages, and no soap or toothpaste.
If the president has enough money to be gilding everything inside in Washington, D.C., and to be building a ballroom for himself, but there's no money for plumbing or for enough to eat for our Marines and sailors, it makes no sense.
Families also claim at least 2 sailors have tried to jump off the ship, according to the Military Times. A U.S. official confirms 1 sailor did go overboard this month and was recovered. But Central Command insists a spike in suicidal thoughts are false, adding the crew remains resilient and resolved. In fact, an official says re-enlistment rates on the USS Lincoln are up. Democrats are furious and demanding an investigation.
The service members, spouses, and children, they're also serving their country. And we owe them not only gratitude, but we owe them a certain amount of respect that we're going to operate within like a certain, rules.
ABC News has learned the USS George Washington, which is docked in Japan, is heading to replace the Lincoln as part of a long-planned rotation. But it's unclear when this will happen. Karen Hua, ABC News, Washington.
Welcome back to the channel. And first of all, I want to say all praises to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And one thing I am going to say on this video is that y'all got to realize that some people will not see these things. Now, at the beginning of the video, we had that scene from Apocalypto. A lot of people look for signs when people say, or prophets, or someone that's keeping prophecy watch. They'll say that this is a big sign. And a lot of people will say on the day of and then see that nothing happened in their mind. And they'll say that that sign has passed and that nothing has happened. I'm going to tell you right now, these eclipses, all these things that are happening, the new moon, the blood moons, just the chariots showing up, you have got to be living under a rock if you don't see that these things are taking place along with prophecy. A lot of eyes are being blinded, and that's the Lord's doing, because if you're listening to this video and you're not getting this, then this ain't for you. Just go keep living your life. Ignorance is bliss. Keep living your life in the matrix blindly, and just go live the rest of your life. See, that's the thing. It's going to come as a thief in the night for some people, and it's going to be a preparation and a prophecy and a rejoicing for other people. Because I'm telling you, I don't get on social media that much, and I happened to go on, and I was looking at the debates between flat earthers and globals, and it's amazing how mean people are to each other now. It's amazing what is going on with so many people, and I'm about to do, and I was trying to leave that alone for a little bit with more evidence, but now I'm going to do a video on Mississippi, because there's a lot of stuff going on down there with Nolan Wells, but a lot of people also don't understand that we return back onto Earth every third to fourth generation. Every third to fourth generations, we come back on Earth. Our spirit don't die. It does not die. Our flesh goes back to the dust, and our spirit goes back to heaven. We get our judgment, come back, and to fulfill our judgment on Earth. The point that I'm making is that even with the race wars that are happening right now, all those people that were once here on Earth The slave owners and the slave masters are back on earth today. This is why there's so much division, because those spirits are coming back up. Because the devil only has a short period of time, and it's not talking about Satan, it's talking about the devil that rules the earth. But some of you will not see it. And at this point, really, it doesn't matter, because the ones that are going to see it are the ones that God is going to allow. Yahweh is going to allow to see it, to see what's actually going on. Let me put this in, okay? John 12:40. He hath blinded their eyes and hardened their heart, that they should not see with their eyes, nor understand with their heart, and be converted. See? Now those that are seeing these things and not hiding under a rock out of fear, because I mean, first of all, if you knew what fear, what that is about, then you would know that what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to fear God. See? Right here. And I don't know why this window is not letting me scroll over. I hate when it does that. Let's see if I can do this. Nope. All right. Let's figure something out here. But anyway, but blessed. Let me put it over here and reshape it. But this scripture that I'm going into right now, which I'm hoping it'll reset. Oh, I hate when things like this happen. Let me refresh it. There we go. But see, blessed are those. Goodness gracious. Let me just go back into it. I want to put the scripture up on the screen, and it's not allowing me. 16. I'll just do that. So, blessed are those. Let me bring it back in. There we go. See? Blessed are your eyes for they see, and your ears for they hear. Blessed. It is a blessing to get to this point where you actually can understand this prophecy and the prophecies that are happening right now, right in front of our eyes. So there was a point also where it was comparing when the soldiers, if you remember that video with the soldiers, and it was and there's a comparison between, and I'll put this link in the description, but there's a comparison between Trump and NERO. Now remember, every third or fourth generation, remember, we always come back. So there is a ton of similarities between Trump and NERO. All right? A bunch of similarities. NERO allegedly fiddled while Rome burned. You know what's going on with the economy? All right? So there are so many things that in this link, and I'll make sure I put it in the link, but I'm gonna go back right here. Now you see the mark of the beast coming in. We done videos on that. Now, how can some people not see it? It is what it is. They're not going to see it. All right. Let me get. I don't know why that did that. And I'm so. Give me one moment, fam. I need to type faster. Hold on, real quick. I want to get that. So right here, Matthew chapter 13, 16 and 23. Put this thing on my neck. So, there we go. So, but blessed are your eyes because they see, and your ears because they hear. For truly I tell you, many prophets and righteous people long to see what you see, but did not see it. and to hear what you hear but did not hear it. So if you are seeing these messages, all right, then you are blessed. So verse 19, when anyone hears the message about the kingdom and does not understand that, the evil one comes and snatches away what was sown in their heart. This is the seed sown along the path. So some people just won't get it. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. What if you don't understand what's going on and you don't want to understand it, if you want to scoff, then just go ahead and watch other videos. But why are you on this page? Oh, the Bible has all the answers. All right, we got Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, all the way to 18. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is the wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. If you're going to a church and they're not talking about these things coming, then you're in the wrong church. You're in the wrong religion. These churches, and you got to remember how these churches were built. Revelation 14:9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast, see this beast system coming in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone. What is that fire and brimstone? So you got the chariots here. And I actually did a video on the chariots. A lot of you are behind on this. See, again, I get accused by a lot of ex-Jehovah's Witnesses that I went into a new religion. This is not a new religion. I can give two rats' asses about false religion, and Jehovah's Witnesses being one of them, and the Mormons being one of them, and Scientology being one of them, and so on and so on and so on, in the Catholic Church. This is about your relationship with the Bible, and this is about prophecy talk at this point where we're living in these days. Do you really think that the United States is going to last? They thought that Egypt was going to last. Who could take down Egypt? Who could take down Assyria? Who could take down the Medes and the Persians? Who could take down Greece? Who could take down Rome? Yeah, but you know, Yahweh Shai is coming back, and he's coming back. So that brimstone, what is that brimstone? Let's get another scripture, Revelation chapter 19:20. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrote miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast and them that worship his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. There goes that brimstone again. A lot of you think, and if a lot of you with these false religions, you think that that lake of fire is hell where you burn for all eternity. That is not true. That lake of fire is the third woe. I wonder if I have that up somewhere right here. Yeah, Revelation 11:14-19. The second woe is past. That's World War II. This is a vision. And behold, the third woe cometh quickly. See, that third woe is that third world war. And it's coming quickly. All right, so let's get back to that brimstone, that fire, fire burning with brimstone. Revelation 9:18, by these three was the third part of men killed, by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone, which issued out of their mouths. So then, if you got eyes to see, then you would know that during these visions, that when they saw the bombs going down, the nuclear bombs going down, they were seeing they called them arrows. They didn't know how else to describe them. Okay, so see right here, you got the arrows. See how they're shaped like arrows right here. They called them arrows because they didn't know, they couldn't say nuclear, ballistic, missiles. When they saw the vision, they wrote down in the best description and described them the best they could. So getting back to that third woe, that brimstone. All right, let's go. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon. Who is Babylon? This is the state that we're in right now. Babylon is the Americas. It is Israel. It is that great harlot. It is Sodom and Egypt. An assembly of great nations. Who's those great nations? Remember, right now they're signing these treaties together. Turkey, Iraq, Iran, Kuwait, so on and so on. They're all signing these treaties together to come up against, this kingdom that we're in, this Esau wicked kingdom. Nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. Here it comes. For from thence she shall be taken. Their arrows, look at that. Their arrows. See, this is the vision. See, their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert. See, the ballistic missiles. These missiles, they get their target, and then they shoot them, and they're on their own, and they go. None shall return in vain. So you got the arrows. You got Trump talking about war. You think that Iran is going to continue to let the United States bully them? You don't think China and Russia are about to join forces together with them? You're hearing rumors about it. It's coming. I try to reason with people. Like, what are you going to do when World War III comes? Go into a bunker? Only the rich can afford bunkers. And we also know what's going to happen to those in the bunkers. What are you going to do? What's your plan? Just go ahead and just burn? Or adhere to this word that is trying to tell you what's going on. But at this point, if you don't see what's going on around you, you probably won't see it until the last second. And that last second is going to be too late, because that's going to become the thief in the night. See, people are afraid to get into this prophecy. 2nd Ezra 16:13, and for some of y'all never read the Apocrypha. The Apocrypha was taken out. See, there's going to be people that is going to be punished. They're getting their judgment for taking scriptures out of the Apocrypha. The Apocrypha is not added, it is taken out. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. See, the ends of the world. We're at the ends of the world. For Jacob is the end of the world. See, for Jacob. For Esau is the end of the world. I'm sorry, dyslexic. For Esau is the end of the world. All right, I just want to go ahead and get that. Of course, they're going to take this out of the Bible. They don't want you to see this. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. See, that's why we got next. This whole land is going to become righteous. This whole land is filthy. They got these AI centers going up everywhere. You know why? Because they're getting ready for the RFID chip. They need something that can handle this type of data exchange. All this stuff is happening. You go ahead and get chipped. Go ahead and take that mark. So right here, so Ezekiel 38. If you read the scriptures and you go through Ezekiel chapter 38 and read all of that, and then go to Ezekiel chapter 39, and you'll see this contrast. And I will plead against him with pestilence and blood, and I will rain upon him and upon his hands and upon the many people that are with him, in overflowing rain. That's those missiles. Do you know how many missiles are going to be coming down? In great hailstones, fire and brimstone. This is what's coming. Then we get to verse 39. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity, see, for their iniquity. I'm about to do a whole video about the captivity scriptures that proves who is who in the Bible, this captivity is almost over. And the heathen, verse 23, and the heathen shall know that the house of Israel, that I quoted, Ezekiel 39, verse 23, and the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me. Therefore hid I my face from them, and gave them into the hand of their enemies, so fell all they by the sword. This time is almost up, because our people are starting to wake up. Our people are beginning to keep the commandments, and we're starting to know who we are. We're not African Americans. I'm not an African American. What country is that? African American. A Chinese person knows who they are. A Japanese person knows who they are. A Russian person knows who they are. A person from Greenland, Australian, they can all go right back to their countries. We lost our identity. That's how you know who we are. We're the only ones on this earth, this whole planet Earth, that has lost their identity and was called something else, and also was called by a byword. So this is for those that have an ear, that can hear. And we're going to keep bringing out videos that give you some understanding and more understanding of the scripture and the word when it comes to these false religions. There's nothing I can say about them. All right? This is not a religion. And if you're watching this right now, this is not a religion. We're not speaking religion. To hell with religions. This is an heritage. This is between you and the Bible. So if you say, if you had an experience with one religion, then you didn't like your experience with that religion, but then all of a sudden you're going to say, well, God's not real, that's on you. And good luck with that. But again, all praises to the Most High, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahawashi. I will get that NERO link in the description comparing Trump, and I'll probably do a video on that. But again, all praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahawashi, and I'll check you later.